Show you how to connect your t-shirt fabric using two different kinds of way to connect your fabric. The ones that are at the top by the sleeves, so you can have a continuous. This is a seam that is sewed at a diagonal, so it'll continue it and it'll be a nice. And when you pull it together, put it on your loom, then the seam is. You can't even feel it. It's not even in there. I'll show you how to make that one. And I'm also going to show you how to make this one. It's a way to put together your fabric. If you like to just sit down and like sew, and then sometimes you just want to sit down and maybe, like if you're a knitter and just want to do it. Or this is a lot of fun for the kids to do too. So I'll show you how to do that one. So let's get started. I lay my fabric that I have here. I lay it across my lap, so I have it. Just grab one end. Now these are the t-shirts. Here's the sleeves. I don't like those. They're just too bulky, so I just cut them off straight. Put them aside. And you can do all of this on the table with the cutter. Your rolling cutter, which really works nice. But this is how you do the seam. Put this one this way. You're going to make a big L, and I always put the long L or the lengthwise towards me, down towards me. Length reminds me I should be long and lean, so I have a nice L. I'm just going to sew it at a diagonal from there. And you can sew several of these together at one time, and you can go along pretty quick. So the one that you're sewing, that's the top, and the one that you want to connect to is the one that's on your lap or your L side. Grab another one, and you get pretty fast at this too. And you don't have to even bring your needle up, or your foot up. You can just continue sewing. Just right up there at the top. You get pretty fast at it. I'll do one more. Obviously it's a lot better if you cut these out at the table, so you don't have to worry about doing it when you're sitting down. Okay, another one. Nice big L. It's been sitting on your lap. I guess, can you see that I'm sewing it at an angle from this corner to this corner? There we go. Cut that. Needle up. My new baby lock is kind of fun to play with too. So, here you go. You got 1, 2, 3. You could have 10, 15, just keep going in them. You can have a whole bucket full. And then you can have your kids, or you can do it yourself. You want to cut them back about a quarter of an inch. Different fabrics will ravel more, so you probably want to leave them a little more. And ravelly fabric for table or mats and stuff, when you shake them, they get all fuzzy, and people seem to like that. So here we go. We open that up. Nice seam. Now this is what the difference is I wanted to show you. Here's a nice seam. So when you pull that together like this, when you put it on the loom, you can hardly feel that. It's just really nice. Now here's a seam. I usually cut these out and I'll sew the other seam, which is really nice. Now this one here, when you put it through, you can feel it. It's bulky. You can just feel it. It's, you know, people put them in their placemats and stuff, but I don't like them. I mean, it doesn't take just a few seconds to do that. So there's a nice seam, and there's a bulky one. So I'll replace that. Now the second one I was going to show you how to connect them is the one that you don't even have to sew. So let's do that. Okay, again, cut these off. And then you can do it yourself, or you can have your kids do it. And if you have your kids do it, make sure that they put it down. And there's those snippers that you can use. You just want to make a small, fine hole both sides like that. And then you can make up stories, and you can tell the kids, like when you're teaching them to do their shoelaces and stuff, you can tell them, here's a little green snake, and you're going to go in the little hole, and when his head comes out, you grab him, and then you just pull him through. And then you got to take the tail of the snake, and you put that through right here. Some people like to use crochet hooks to pull them through, but fingers work just good. And then you're going to pull it through. And this is kind of the fun part. I always like this. It's just like every single time, it always turns out so nice. It just pulls together, and like magic, you get this really nice looking, it's almost like a square knot. But it covers up the holes. You can hardly see it. And it's the same, if you feel it, it's the same as the rest of the fabric. And that is it for the two different kinds of ways to connect your fabric. Put it together for having a nice big loop of sometimes 15 to 19 feet of t-shirt material for getting ready for looming. Good luck!